Assalamu alaikum students. Once again I welcome you all to my YouTube video class. In last video we have learned about database concepts, right? Today I'm going to continue the same lesson with the remaining topics. Before continuing the lesson, just recall what is database and DBMS. Database is a repository collection of related data organized in a way that data can be easily accessed, managed and updated. Right? DBMS, that is a computer based record keeping system. Now we'll see what are the types of DBMS users. In this we have four different types of DBMS users. First one is database administrator, second one application programmers or software developers, third one is end user, fourth one database designer. First one, database administrators. Database administrators or DBA is the one who manages the complete database management system. Okay, DBA takes care of the security of the database management system, managing the license key, managing user account and accessing, etc. Okay, this is a person who will control and manages the database management system. Second one, application programmers or software developers. This user group is involved in developing and designing the parts of the DBMS. Okay, this group of the people only will develop and design the parts of the DBM. Third one is end user. End user are the one who store, retrieve and update and delete the data. That is we. We are the end users. We only using that, right? We will store, retrieve the data, and if you want you can update that. If you want to delete, you can delete the data also. Okay, in all the model application, web or mobile, what's the main source? It will store the data, right? In all applications are programmed in such a way that they will collect the user data and store the data on the DBMS system running on their server. Okay. Fourth one is database designer. Database designer are responsible for identifying the data to be stored in the database, for choosing appropriate structure to represent and store the data. Okay, this database designer only will identify the data to be stored, which data want to store. For this data, what are the design, what is the appropriate structure to represent and store the data. All these things will be controlled and designed by the database designer. Okay, these are the four different types of users in DBMS. Clear? Now we will see the differences between DBMS and RDBMS. Look at that. Basis of comparison. Second one is DBMS, the other is RDBMS. Okay. Here, first category is expansion. Expansion for DBMS is database management system. Here, RDBMS is relational database management system. Second one is data storage. In DBMS, data will be stored in the navigational model. That is, data will be stored by linked records. Each data will be linked by one. Okay. In RDBMS, relational model is used. That is, the data will be stored in the form of tables. Okay, table is a collection of rows and columns, right? In the rows and columns only, the data will be stored in RDBMS. Third category is data redundancy. Here in DBMS is exhibit. It will be viewed. It will be showed by. It will be viewed by the user. But here in RDBMS, it is not present. Then normalization. Normalization means it is a process of organizing the data in the database. That is, it will divide a larger table into smaller table and links them using the relationship. Okay, by using this normalization, you can reduce redundancy. Okay, here in normalization in RDBMS is not performed. Here RDBMS, it's used normalization for what? To reduce redundancy. Okay. For fifth one is data access. DBMS, it consumes more time. But here in RDBMS, it is compared to DBMS, it is faster. The next one is keys and indexes. Here in DBMS, they don't use any keys at all. But here, RDBMS used to establish relationship. That is, keys are used in RDBMS. By using the relation keys only, it was integrated with one table with another table. Then next one is transaction management. Transaction management in DBMS, it is inefficient, error prone, and it is insecure also. Here in RDBMS, it is efficient and fully secure. The next category is distributed databases. Here in DBMS, distributed databases is not supported, but here in RDBMS, it is supported. Then here the examples of RDBMS are DBase, FoxPro. Here RDBMS examples are SQL, Server, Oracle, MySQL, MariaDB, SQLite. Okay, RDBMS is the most popular database management system now we are using. Okay, these are all about differences between DBMS and RDBMS. Here, database normalization was first proposed by Dr. Edgar F. Code. It's an integral part of RDBMS, normalization. As I said earlier, normalization divides a larger table into smaller table and links them using relationship. By using this form, it will reduce redundancy from the database table. Okay. In order to reduce data redundancy and improve data integrity. Okay, these rules are known as EF Code rules. Okay, this normalization, what are the rules developed or proposed by Dr. Edgar F. Code? These rules are known as EF Code rules. Clear about this? Now we'll see the different types of relationships. Here they're given 4 different types of relationships used in a database. First one is one-to-one relationship. Second one, one-to-many relationship. Third one, many-to-one relationship. Fourth one, many-to-many relationship. We'll see one by one. Now we'll see about one-to-one relationships. In one-to-one relationships, one entity is related with only one other entity. Okay, one row, that is one row in a table is linked with only one row in another table and vice versa. 1 to 1. One entity is related with only one entity of other table. Okay, look at that figure. Here, this is an 2 entities we are having. One is student entity, other is exam number. Okay, 2 tables. Student, this is one table. Exam number is another table. Here, in students we are having Tamil Chelvi, Jayapandian, and Sarojini. In exam number 1001, 1002, 1003. So here in student table, each entity is related to only one entity of the other table. See, Tamil Chelvi is related to number 1001. Jayapandian is related to 1002. Sarojini is related to 1003. So, and student can have only one exam number, right? They don't have 2 or 3, right? So, a entity of one table is related to only one entity of other table or vice versa. This is known as one-to-one relationship. Clear? The next second category is one-to-many relationship. In one-to-many relationship, one entity is related to many other related entities. Okay? One entity is related to many other entities is known as one-to-many relationship. Okay? One row in a table A is linked to many rows in a table B. But one row in a table B is linked to only one row in a table A. Look at the example, look at the figure. Here you are having 2 tables, one is department, other is staff. That is, one department has many staff members, right? So, one department has many staff members. So, one to many. Look at that figure. Department, staff. In department, you are having 3 departments, computer, Tamil and Max. In staff, Gajalakshmi, Bindu, Radha, Ramesh, Malayarasu, right? Here, in computer, this is a computer department has 2 entities. One is Gajalakshmi, other is Bindu, right? Then in Tamil department has 1 to 2 entities, Ramesh and Malayarasu, then Max, Radha. Here in this table, department table, a computer, that is a one entity that may have one or more entity in the staff. But in the staff table, each entity must have only one entity in department. It should not have more than one entity in department. So, one to many. Okay, clear about this. Next one is many-to-one relationship. In many-to-one relationship, many entities can be related with only one in the other entity. Okay, that is, for example, here a number of staff members working in one department. So many staffs will be there. They all work under one department. So many to one. Look at the figure. Here you are having staff table and department table. In staff you are having three staffs. Suganya, Bala, Balaramati. In department you are having computer and max. See, these three staffs all are working under computer department. So many entities are related with only one entity in department table. So this is many to one relationship. So multiple rows in the staff member table is related with only one row in department table. This type of relationship known as many to one relationship. Next one is many to many relationship. Many to many means many to many relationships occurs when multiple entities will related to multiple entities in another table. Okay, that is multiple records in a tables are associated with multiple records in another tables. For example, customers and products. Customers can purchase various products, right? And products can be purchased by many customers. So many to many. Say example number 2, students and courses. A student can register for many courses and a course may include many students. So many to many. Third example is books and students. Many books in library are issued to many students, right? See here, books, students. Two tables are here. C++ book, SQL book is there, Python book is also there, right? So here C++ is issued to Kalevani as well as Manjula. Then SQL also issued to Kalevani and Manjula and also Sridevi. Here Python is also issued to Manjula and Sridevi. So Kalevani has taken 2 books. One is C++ and SQL. Manjula has taken 3 books. C++, SQL, Python. So this type of relationship known as many to many relationship. Okay. Your next topic is relational algebra in DBMS. What is relational algebra? A relational algebra was first created by Edgar Escott while at IBM. What's the full form for IBM? International Business Machine. Okay. It was used for modeling the data stored in a relational databases and defining queries on it. Okay. Mainly it was used for modeling the data. Modeling means we have 5 models, right? Hierarchical model, network model, ER model, object model, network model, right? So out of that, by using this relational algebra, they can able to model the data stored in a relational database and also defining queries. Queries means nothing but a condition applying on it. Okay, based on the condition only you'll be getting the output. Okay, relational algebra is a procedural query language used to query the database table using SQL, structured query language. Relational algebra operations are performed recursively on a relation. Relation is nothing but table to yield an output. What do you mean by recursive? Recursive means a function call itself. That is continuously it will call. So that is known as recursive, right? So relational algebra operations are performed recursively on a relation, that is table, to yield an output. The output of this operation is a new relation which might be formed by one or more input relations. Okay, after by using the query you will be getting some outputs, right? It will form one new table. Okay. Relational algebra is divided into various groups. First one is unary relational operations. In that we will have two operations. One is select, other is project. Select, its symbol is row. Project, its symbol is pie. Relational algebra operations from set theory. In that we are having 4 operations. First one is union, then second one is intersection, third one is difference, fourth one is Cartesian product. We'll see one by one. Now we'll see about select operation. Its symbol is row. General form is row subscript C of R. That is with a relation R and a condition C on the attributes of R. Okay, R means relation, that is table. C is a condition on the attributes of R. R is a relation table, right? In that which attribute on which field you are going to perform the select operation, that attribute you have to mention in C. The select operation is used for selecting a subset with tuples according to a given condition. Okay, by using the select operation, you can able to select a subsets with tuples means records which satisfy the condition. It filter out all the tuples that do not satisfy condition C. Okay, it filter out all the tuples, all the records which do not satisfy the condition C. So those are records or tuples which satisfy the condition. That records only creates a small subset of the table. Okay, now look at the example. Here is a table. The table name is student. It contains 4 attributes, that is 4 columns. One is student number, name, course, year. Okay, then it consists of 4 records, 4 tuples. Kannan's record, Gauri Shankar's record, Lenin records, Batmaja's record. Okay, here now I'm going to perform this select operation. My condition is row course. Course is an attribute. Okay, this is a field on which I'm going to perform the condition. Okay, course is an attribute that you have to specify here. So as a subscript is equal to big data. This is a condition. Okay, now I'm going to create a subset of the table which includes the students whose course is big data. Okay, in the above table only 2 students are two students courses big data. One is Kannan and Lenin, right? So I need that particular 2 students data. So my condition is row course is equal to big data. Then relation. The relation name is the table name student. Okay. So after performing this select operation, your subset of the table, your output is student number, name, course, year, CS1, Kannan, big data, second year, CS3, Lenin, big data, first year. Okay. The tuples will be displayed which satisfy the conditions. Others and all, it filter out the tuples. Clear? Next operation is project. Its symbol is pi. The projection eliminate all attributes of the input relation but those mentioned in the projection list. The projection method defines a relation that contains a vertical subset of a relation. Okay, here in this project operation you can able to display the attributes alone, not the other content, other records. Okay, this project is mainly used to display the vertical subset of a relation. Vertical subset means columns, vertical subsets of the table. For example, see here the same table, student number, name, course, year, CS1, CS2, CS3, CS4, Kannan. Okay, that same student table here I'm going to display the course. Okay, the course alone, this attribute, course attribute alone. For that, if you want to display or if you want to create a subset of the table with the attributes, vertical attributes means we have to use project operation, that is projection operation. Okay, see example 1, here same table. Now you are going to perform project attribute. See pi course. C is a condition, right? Course of relation. What is the name of the table? Student. That's enough, right? I'm going to display only the attributes column only. So you need only this attributes, the name of the table. Then your output will be that course, big data, R language, Python programming. Already we having 4 tuples, but in the output you'll be getting only 3 tuples. Why? Here duplicate row is removed. See, big data is repeated twice, right? So it removed one big data, then it will display the remaining attributes. See, big data, R language, Python programming. Here in condition you can define 1 or 2 conditions also. For example, pi student number comma course, that also you can give. Here in the first example you mention only 1 condition, say course. Suppose if you want to display 2 attributes means we can give student, then student number comma course. Then you can able to see the 2 attributes, student number, then the course. Student number CS1, CS2, CS3, CS4, then course, big data, R language, big data, Python programming. Okay, here we can't able to remove the big data because in student name we having 4, right? So as it is student number with 4 means course with a 4, it will get displayed. Okay. Next relational algebraic operation is union. Union, its symbol is union. In set language you use, right? That union symbol you have to use to perform union operation. It includes all tuples that are in tables A or in B. Union operation is mainly used to combine both the tables tuples. It also eliminates duplicates. If it is a particular tuple is repeated twice, means it will eliminate that duplicates. Set A union B would be expressed as A union symbol then B. Okay. Now consider the following table. You are having two tables, table A and table B. In table A, you are having two attributes, student number, name. In table B also you are having two attributes, student number, name. Okay. Here in table A, you are having student number CS1, CS3, CS4. In table B, you are having the students CS1, CS2, then CS3. Okay. Now, by using these two tables, you are going to perform union operation. Okay. After performing union operation, your output will be, look at the table, A union B, student number, name. Union operation is mainly used to combine two table tuples together, right? Here, student number, name, CS1 Kannan, CS2 Gaurishankar, CS3 Lenin, CS4 Batmaja. Here, in table A and table B, you are having CS1 Kannan. In table B also you are having CS1 Kannan. So, out of these two, it will display only one. It will eliminate the duplicate one. Okay, clear? Next relational algebra operations from set theory is set difference. Its symbol is minus. Okay, the result of A minus B is a relation which includes all the tuples that are in A but not in B. A minus B means here you will be getting the result with tuples which are in A. If the same tuple is in B, means it will eliminate that tuple. Okay. This attribute name of A has to match with the attribute name in B. Keep it in mind that the attribute name in both the tables must be match. Okay, must be same. Then only you can able to perform these set related operations and all. Okay. Now take the same tables. Table you are having two tables, table A, table B, same table, student name, student number, name. Here in table B also you are having student number, name with the three tuples each. Okay. Here now we are going to perform set difference, that is minus. Set difference means it will create a relation, create a table which includes all tuples that are in A but not in B. Okay. Here Kannan, CS1 Kannan is in A, that in B also. So it will eliminate that. CS3 Lenin, it is in A, table A. Then that CS3 Lenin, it's also in table B. That also will get eliminated. Then CS4 Batmaja is not in table B. So your output is CS4 Batmaja. Okay. Next operation in set theory is intersection. Its symbol is set intersection, symbol A intersection B. This intersection operations defines a relation consists of a set of all tuples that are in both in A and B. Okay. Here intersection means it will create a relation which contains that tuple must be in both the two tables A and B. Okay. The common tuples or the data, the tuples is repeated in both the tables, that tuples alone will get displayed. Okay. Intersection means that in the particular tuple must be in both the relation, both the table. Okay. Now look at the example, same example, table A, table B with student number, name, student number, name. Here now you are going, by using this table A and B, you are going to perform intersection. Intersection means what are the tuples which is in both A and B, that tuple will be displayed as a result. Right. Here which is in CS1 Kannan is in table A, that are in table B also. So that will be recorded, that will be added in the relation. Then CS3 Lenin, here CS3 Lenin, yeah, CS3 Lenin in table B also, that also will be added in that new relation, subset of the relation. Okay. So Batmaja, no, this Batmaja is not in table B. Then Gaurishankar is not in table A. So these two tuples will get eliminated. Only the records of Kannan and Lenin will get displayed in A intersection B table. Okay, now your output will be A intersection B, CS1 Kannan, CS3 Lenin. Clear? Last set theory operation is product or Cartesian product. That symbol is cross, that is X. Okay, cross product is a way of combining two relations. The resulting relations contain both the relations being combined. Okay, the resulting table will contains both the relations being combined. A into B. Okay, A cross B means A times B, where the relation A and B have different attributes. Though the A and B have different attributes also, it will perform a product of two tables, A into B. This type of operation is help to merge columns from two relations. By using this Cartesian product, it merge the columns from two relations from two tables. Okay, for example, look at this figure. Table A contains three attributes, okay, or three entities. Table B contains two. So the output of table A cross table B is, first in table A it will take the first entity, then in table B first 1s, then again the same entity with table B second entity, so 1r. Then it will take the second entity in table A, 2s, then 2r, then 3s, then 3r. So table A contains 3 entity, table B contains 2 entity. Then the product of table A and B, Cartesian product of table A cross B is equal to 3 into 2 is equal to 6. So totally 6 entity you will be getting as a result. Okay, consider an example, table A and table B. Table B has student number, name. Here table B has student number, subject. Okay, here in student number they having CS1, CS2, CS4, name Kannan, Gaurishankar, Padmaja. Here student number CS28, CS62, CS25, subject big data, R language, Python programming. Okay, by using this, if you are going to perform a Cartesian product, A cross B means the output of that A cross B is here. Look at that result, student number, name, code, subject. Totally how many tuples they are having? 1, 2, 3 in table B. In table B, table A 3, table B also 3. So 3 into 3, 9. So your output is 9 entities your output. So look at the result, student number, name, then course, subject. That is not course here, that is student number. Okay, student number, name, student number, subject. CS1 Kannan with CS28 big data, that is the first. Then again CS1 Kannan, CS62 R language. Again you take the first record in the table A, then with the remaining all the 3 records with the table B. Okay, after completing the first record in table A, it will move on to the table second record in table A. Okay, Kannan CS28 big data, Kannan CS62 R language, Kannan CS25 Python programming. Then see, and it will take the next record, next tuple in table A, CS2 Gaurishankar, CS28 big data, CS2 Gaurishankar, CS62 R language, CS4 Padmaja, CS25 Python programming. In the same way CS4 also. Okay, so your output will be 9 entities. Clear all of you? This is not course, this is student number. Clear? That's all about this database concept lesson. Let's summarize this topic. Types of DBMS users. Here we have 4 users. One is database administrators, application programmers or software developers. Third one is end user, at last database designer. Then we have discussed about differences between DBMS and RDBMS. Then about types of relationships. There are 4 different types of relationships. One is one-to-one relation, one-to-many, many-to-one, and many-to-many relationships. Then relational algebra in DBMS. Relational algebra is a procedure query language used to query the database tables using SQL, that is standard query language. It was used for modeling the data stored in a relational database and defining queries on it. Okay, in that we had 6 different types of relational operators: select, project, union, intersection, difference, and Cartesian product. Okay, that's all about this lesson. I hope you all understood. Thank you, students.